all of us can no longer believe that it will not affect the quality of our lives and our children. Unemployment and dissatisfaction creates desperate people. Desperation often causes crime. And criminal behaviour leads to prison.
We've got to not look at the criminal system, we've got to look at the system outside the system called our system as so-called free human beings. What are we teaching our kids? What are we doing? And many people believe the kids that are dropping out are the dumb kids. That's not what the stats are finding out right now. The stats are that 30% of the dropouts are the very top students. Only 10% of the dropouts are poor students.
The sad fact is, if a child ends up in prison, then there may be no second chances. The ones that cannot cope sometimes commit suicide. The vast majority end up on an endless cycle of crime for the rest of their lives. We also need to realise that when prisoners are released, they simply give back to us the punishment we gave to them. And so, the vicious cycle continues.
And the vast majority of them are going to get out of there someday. What we're doing is really putting them into the same set of conditions that they were in the first place. All they're going to do is come out a little older, a little wiser, and a lot angrier.
You stack your away here, you fight out your 5 years or your 10 years what you got, you fight with yourself, you fight with the people around with you, you fight with the system, you fight with the people outside that you love and care for, the tension grows, the anger distills in you, and then they let you out on the street. Then they let you out on the street.
Who are we really punishing, the criminal or society? Is our education system keeping up with our rapidly changing world? Are we really listening to our children and understanding what's happening to them? What, as individuals, can we do about all this? Well, we can all do something. This was demonstrated when a number of individuals decided to make a change to our youth in a most unlikely place. In 1989, a project was initiated by some of the toughest prisoners in a maximum security prison in Australia. It was called the Day in Prison Program, modelled on other similar programs around the world for young offenders facing their first prison sentence. They were shown the graphic reality of where they were heading.
They don't give you a chance. Yeah. They'll either wait till you're sitting on the toilet with your pants down around your ankles, and you get 5 of them running in with iron bars, shivs, whatever, and they'll let you have it.
Once a teenager goes to prison, they end up locked into the system in more ways than one. There's usually no second chances. But through this one-day accelerated educational program, more than 120 young offenders have discovered the dangers of the path they are travelling and have been diverted out of the prison system.
You know what's going to happen to you next time you come in here? You work for us.
To date, the program has saved the Australian taxpayer more than $2 million in prison costs alone. The prisoners involved did so with minimal resources, no rewards, no promises, in an extremely hostile atmosphere. Having made such a difference to themselves and the young people under these adverse conditions, what could we do in the safety of our own homes or offices? The fact is, we can all do something to make a positive change to our community.
The strongest thing that ever came out in the time that I was in that arena with those fellows working together was the point that at some stage in their life, they said, we want to do something in our lives. Even though our lives are hopeless, we want to do something in our life that makes some sort of difference. We can look at ourselves in the mirror at some stage in life and say, okay, I might have done this, and I might have done that, and that was terrible, but at least I did that. For that time in my life, I did something. And that maybe some piece of information in their heads or some piece of their history was going to make a difference to a young fellow before them who'd think, well, I ain't coming back here. I don't want to come back here. You know, this is enough.
I went into several prisons right now, and many of the people who are in jail are not bad people. They just they got caught doing a desperate act. I met a bank robber who says, where else can you make $50,000 a day? So I have to agree with them.
We've set up the systems, and any systems failure is our responsibility.
Other programs are also having a positive impact on prisoners.
I think for me, it's almost like a kind of a miracle watching what happens. You know, time and time again, we've come in to start a new program, and a group of prisoners will walk in very tense and very tight. And this includes 14, 15-year-old boys. And within half an hour of various simple relaxation exercises and meditation, you see a tremendous change taking place. People's faces just lightening up and their bodies relaxing. And then communication can start taking place.
Change is starting to happen in business, education, and within individuals. But much more needs to be done before it's too late. We all need to take immediate steps to address the challenges facing our rapidly changing society. All the experts are agreeing something has definitely got to change.
We've created the education system, let's change the education system.
And a system that encouraged teachers to put a bit of their own love of life or something into education do make it so much better. And there are people out there trying to do these things.
Our school system is based on the fear of failure, not the love of learning. And if that changes, when that changes, then we'll have a more peaceful world because we'll develop more peaceful people.
The solutions are simple. They just need to be put into practice in our families, schools, and work situations. Love, respect, trust, compassion, responsibility.
Love is the most important thing in prison, you know what I mean? A lot of people shy off it because they think, I know that it's a sort of softness or it's something like that. But if you haven't got people that you care about, if you haven't got people that you love, you got nothing.